The Truth and The Truth app. Coming with straight truth.
Corey, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you when I first started hearing your voice. And what you're doing, in the words of T-Pain and Gorilla, I love it.
Thank you, brother. Bless.
Hey, I'm down with you, man. I missed your last gathering, but the next one I'm going to be there, and I'm going to make sure I introduce myself because, hey, you're God in all circumstances.
Catch The Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Never miss a moment of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Violence is a tool. Violence.
Great morning, Truth Nation. Welcome to Truth in the Morning. Along with the legendary Dame LZ, we are your cousin subs of the day. I'm a club sub. Dame.
You know I don't say anything till the end. I have to determine how the morning goes.
Right.
And then that'll be the sub of the day for me.
Absolutely.
There's so many options.
Right, that part. That's a good thing about it. Sponsored by Cousin Subs. We're inside the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown at the Avenue. Dame, how you been, bro? How you been?
I've been great. You the one that just got back in town. How you been?
I've been blessed, man. I've been great, man. Enjoyed the Mealtex Packers edition. Shout out to Lydell Ruffin. At Signature Events, another successful event in Dallas, Texas. And, of course, we didn't lose.
We ain't win either, though.
But we didn't lose. So that's what I'm holding on to. I'm holding on to the fact that we didn't lose. I could have had to come back to – I could have been on a plane. Well, luckily it was all Packer fans, of course. But we could have just been real somber. But no, we didn't have to hold our heads down. People could go to work. There were people talking about, I can't go to work if we don't win this game. I can't go to work. We got to win. We got to win.
When the Packers lose, when I used to be so invested in it, I'm not as invested in it as much, but when I used to be so invested in it that if they lost, I would not want to go to work that week because it was just like you don't want to have to deal with it. It makes everything sad. So you see the importance of professional sports. And then as I got older, I met someone who's like, I don't even watch sports. And I was like, for real? You don't watch no sports? He was a dude. He's like, I don't watch sports. And I was like, maybe I'm putting too much into this basketball and football stuff. It's affecting me too much. Mm-hmm. So I just let that go. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of after Ray Rhodes had gotten he went through his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, I ain't even watch football that next year. And so after that, when I came back, I was less invested. But if they lose on some dumb mess, then I'm just pissed. It's certain teams, like if they'd have lost to Dallas, I really would have probably been mad.
Yeah, a lot of people, we all had those same sentiments, in my opinion. And what I want people to get, like, okay, of course, it ended in a tie. And, you know, we had one of our guests was the legendary NFL Antonio Freeman that was at our Packers edition at Texas Live. I'd never been to Texas Live, and, you know, it's directly across from the AT&T Stadium. So that's your backdrop from Texas Live. And, of course, you know, they have the Texas Rangers Stadium and all that stuff is that's right there. And
like it should have been here, but that's neither here nor there.
Right downtown.
We'll carry that on.
Right. Because in most, you know, cities.
That's how it is. Yeah.
But we're trying to get potholes taken care of.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So to just be able to be in that, and we had our whole mezzanine section, nothing but our Packer fans. And, of course, Dallas fans were on the lower level.
Hate Dallas fans. That's why I'd be mad if we lose to Dallas, because Dallas fans are the most annoying people on this earth. They ain't won nothing in 20-something years.
Right.
But they will talk the most crazy stuff. And Chicago Bears fans, but that's neither. At least they know they losers.
Right.
But they talk crazy, but they know they really finna lose.
Yeah.
It's just, but
yeah.
Dallas people, they really think they finna win.
Yeah, they're arrogant.
All the time.
Yep, they're arrogant.
It's
and they should have been humbled by now, but they're not.
They're not.
They're not. And so, but one of the things that, I always try to end up taking different takeaways from the outcome and putting it into everyday life. And what I got from it, and I hope people got from it, is to never give up. Because there, some of those scores that the Cowboys were making or whatnot, it was enough to deflate you. Like, oh my goodness, we came out strong. We
lost another 13-point lead.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, and then it's enough to make some people give up. But I loved all of the Packer fans that came from Milwaukee and other places, and we all converged on Texas. And just we didn't give up. Like, we didn't let it go, and neither did the Packers. And so if people can understand that and equate it to your life, it's like, don't give up. I know it seems like the odds are against you. I know it seems like, well, I was winning. I was doing everything. Right. I was motivated. And then here comes something to take the wind out of my sail. And it's like, no, don't stop. There's going to be more win. You feel what I'm saying? You'll get it. And to the very end, they never gave up.
Look at Micah Parsons.
Yeah, man.
He had a rough game. They double-teamed him the whole game. He had like one tackle. He couldn't get to the quarterback. He had some pressures. But he made the game-saving play in tackling Dak before, because Dak thought he was going into the end zone.
That's right.
His eyes was big.
That's right.
He was tap dancing.
That's right.
He
That's
thought
right.
it was over.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Here come Micah coming up and tackling from the back with a sack, right?
Yep.
They deemed it a sack. But if Mike had given up,
that's right.
Then if he'd have just thought, I'm going to get double teamed every play, let me know. So on his last time out there on the field, he made the play that saved the game for the Packers. I mentor kids all of the time, and I tell them, I talk about this all of the time. I mentor kids, but I talk about it all the time. Is that I tell them persistence and perseverance. So if we go shoot hoops, or if we go throw the football, or if we go do something that may seem trivial, I tell them, okay, you're not good at that now, but if you're persistent with it,
you're right.
You'll be good. And if you persevere through the times that you're not good, you'll get to that good spot. And I equate that to life. Like, life, don't make I always tell people this all the time, don't make a permanent decision based upon a momentary moment. You know what I'm saying? Just something that's right now. Just something that affects you right now. You're mad about it, and you can stop. But if you stop, you won't get to the other side of that.
Right.
And once you get to the other side of that,
thanks, Andrew,
then it happens. Yeah, look at Micah, and that is an existence. That play is an example of not giving up.
That's right.
That's his last time on the field.
Absolutely.
And had he stopped, double team. Man, I can't get through this. I can't get through this.
That's right.
Boom, he saves the game. And now he's ending in adulation. Even though they ended in a tie, it could have been worse. They could have lost.
Absolutely. So, again, I want people to really equate that to your life. Like I say, you're going to get knocked down. People are going to be coming at you every which way.
Yep.
And you're going to think that, you know what, it's too much pressure. They just scored again. Now what am I going to do? You're going to score. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to have your time. And I like how they changed the rules too, because that whoever get the touchdown first, then blam, it's over. But for this season, they changed it to where it's like, even if they get a touchdown, you get a chance. Yeah.
The evolution of the rule, it used to be whoever got that ball first was probably going to win the game because the first score wins. Then they switched it to, well, if they get a touchdown first, they win. If they don't get a touchdown, then you get
a chance,
to get a touchdown. But now the fact that everybody gets the chance to get the
fair
ball
chance,
is going to be, it's probably going to be more ties. But even in being more ties, anytime you can get more people, more football, the coaches, and not the coaches, but the owners don't mind. They don't mind, because now those fans are in the stadium for 10 more minutes of game action, which is probably like 30 more minutes of actual time.
And that game went late.
Now they buying stuff, doing stuff.
Absolutely.
So you got them in the stadium longer. They not mad about that. The players might be like, nah, I got to play another 30 minutes of extra time. And I'm not getting no checks for this if you looking at it that way. Because if they like me, I'm counting down. I know every hour, this is how much I'm making. This is what I'm doing. So if they like me, even though they making that much money, they still, come from nothing. And
Speaking
they probably
of making
got
that much money, man, the special teams coach, yeah, he making way too much money for what we have to endure.
You get two kicks blocked,
man,
in successive weeks.
Yeah, man, it's a problem.
That's all bad.
Yeah,
and like I was saying before, even after the Packers came down and scored, Dallas only had to go 50-some yards because they allowed.
Yep.
Which is very difficult to do now with the kickoff return rules, the way they have them set up.
Right.
You're not really going to get past the 35. So that's why they be like, you get the ball at the 35 if you get infield. Because you're probably going to get to the 35. This dude got all the way to like the 50 or something, right?
Yep.
Came to the 50. So that half a field, it's hard to stop anybody on a half a field.
Absolutely.
So that cost us a lot, too.
The government is shut down.
At 12:01 this morning.
Also shut down. Well, a big glitch in the matrix. Ascension and United Healthcare did not come to terms. So if you have United Healthcare, you cannot go to your Ascension doctors or medical facilities. So that's,
So break that down for people so that they understand, because so if you have United Healthcare and you typically can go to an Ascension because they're partnered up.
Yep.
You can go to an Ascension urgent care or something like that.
And the simple way is you cannot now. You're going to have to find a provider that accepts United Healthcare because Ascension doesn't. So basically anybody that was going to any Ascension, which a bunch of inner city people
go to those,
pretty much go to,
stuff, right?
Yeah, and have doctors in that group. Yeah, you're not going to be able to. You better call for your doctor's appointment today.
I think I got United Healthcare through the city.
Yeah,
and I think I go to St. Mary's, and that might be Ascension.
Oh yeah. So
it's so many. I couldn't go to the doctor right now.
Yeah, it's so many. Hopefully, Andrew can pull up a list for us because we got to get ready to take care of our first set of bills. But we're going to talk about these things and how they affect you. And I know, Dame, you've had a chance to kind of talk about what this looks like with this federal, shutdown. So it's here.
It's here now.
It's here.
Yeah.
And what does it mean for you today? Will you be immediately affected, or will it be the trickle-down effect? It's Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I am the legendary Home Blow. He is
the legendary Dame Elsie in the building.
We got to take care of some bills. I'm black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Hey, Truth fam. This is your girl, Melanie Ricks, and I want to remind you to tune into Nothing But the Truth digital show with me, Melanie Ricks, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., a new episode drops on the 101.7 The Truth YouTube page. And since it is on YouTube, I hold nothing back. I give you all my hot takes on celebrity gossip and give you the tea on relationships that you don't want to miss. Subscribe to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube so you never miss Nothing But the Truth digital show, dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m., presented by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. We are the American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. We are nearly 1 million strong and growing stronger every day. Join us on Saturday, October 11th at 8 a.m. at Summerfest Southgate as we come together for the Making Strides of Milwaukee Walk. Whether you walk for a survivor, in the memory of a loved one, or to support the American Cancer Society, you bring us closer to a future free from breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country right here in Milwaukee? Sign up for free today at www.makingstrideswalk.org/MilwaukeeWI.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
Junior Achievement is proud to team up with the Admirals to help young people build the skills they need to win in school, in work, and in life. Thank you to the Milwaukee Admirals for supporting JA programming and for giving our students a power play toward a brighter future. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruber's offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We're black. Welcome to Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Of course, I got to say some great mornings to RN Kawanda. Great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Not really a city girl. Great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Gay Williams. Great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Venus Jones. Great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Sincere Ronnie Ray Real. Great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Will D, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. And everybody who's checking in on the YouTube page or our Facebook Live page, of course, 101.7 The Truth. Remember, while you're there, hit that like and subscribe button. We are on our way. We're close to our 5,000 subscriber goal. So
we was at 4.53 yesterday.
Yeah.
Now we have 4.55. 500 away.
You know, so we are on the way. And, of course, our Truth Talk text line where you can join us in giving us your truth at 833-212-1017. We're talking about the things that happened as of midnight. So, of course, on the 30th, that was for the government shut down, and it's officially shut down. And the orange man is throwing his little his tantrums and all that temper tantrums, and talking about, well, it's going to be some things that, we're going to be able to do some things that they're not going to be able to reverse. I like how Jimmy Kimmel he done a little monologue talking about. About that. Yeah, he tried to shut down something else, and we were able to reverse that. So that was a good thing. That was a good laugh for me. And also something that, because of, unfortunately, Damus, a lot of people in our community that definitely need health care. I mean, everybody in the world needs health care, but there are some people who are really dependent on being able to get the quality health care that everybody deserves. I believe everybody deserves that. Well, this Ascension Wisconsin United Healthcare contract that expired. It expired. So they've been talking and they haven't been able to meet on the same plane. And so with that being said, the contract expired as of midnight. So what it means and who will be affected and are being affected literally right now as we speak, because no agreement was reached. If an agreement isn't reached, Ascension Wisconsin employed doctors and most Ascension Wisconsin facilities will be out of network for all United Healthcare products, commercial Exchange, Medicare Advantage, and Medicaid members. That list also includes United Healthcare community plans, employer-sponsored and individual commercial plans, and Medicare Advantage plans, including group retiree and dual special needs plans. And in going into it, the network access would be terminated at 10 Ascension, Wisconsin hospital facilities since the deal was not worked out. Those 10 facilities: Ascension All Saints Hospital, Ascension Calumet Hospital, Ascension Northeast Wisconsin Hospital, Ascension Northeast Wisconsin Hospital Mercy Campus, Ascension Southeast Wisconsin Hospital, Ascension St. Francis Hospital, Ascension Wisconsin Hospital Menominee Falls, Ascension Columbia St. Mary's Hospital Milwaukee, Ascension Columbia St. Mary's Hospital Ozaukee, and the Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. So these are things that are affected. So before you call yourself going to that appointment that you may have today, I would encourage you to call. I would encourage you to make sure that you're not going to take that trip or get a transit plus ride or any type of care ride that you may need to your appointment and be turned around because they will no longer accept your insurance. And that is crazy. That is crazy because, man, like,
and I got
the money, man.
I got United Healthcare because I work for the city. I got United Healthcare, and St. Mary's is my hospital. And so, good thing I got all my prescriptions just filled before the shutdown. I didn't know this was coming, and good thing, because I don't know if they would have been able to fill.
They wouldn't have. And a lot of people, you may notice, even if your prescription wasn't scheduled to be filled on yesterday, a lot of people got bombarded with, "We're refilling your prescription."
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
I hope you replied yes yesterday.
Yeah, because if you didn't and you put off yesterday for something, something that you could have done that day, and now you butt out.
Yeah, and so and what they're saying is, so that y'all keep up, is that Ascension is saying United Healthcare just isn't paying them enough for the services that they're providing.
Right.
Now, this has become a theme with United Healthcare in that when Luigi popped my guy out in New York, that they were saying that was because of something like that, where United Healthcare wasn't paying, denied a surgery or something for one of his family members. That was what they were saying was the excuse. And back then, we even talked about it, and I know people that this has happened to directly, where they have been set up to have surgery. The day comes, and then they get United Healthcare said X, Y, and Z. So we got to wait. Now, took off work, did all the stuff, made your schedule, did all the stuff to be prepared for this. And then you get there, and United Healthcare is saying, we ain't going to cover that. Now, just imagine how many people that has happened to. If it's happened to me, if I've known a couple of people that has happened to just in my circles, throughout the country, it's probably happened to a lot of people, and a lot of people are frustrated with it. And now you have even another corporation being frustrated with United Healthcare's unwillingness to pay up.
Right. And I'm telling you, like, I'm just thinking, like, this, it's devastating in so many different ways and affecting people. You may have had a surgery plan for today. It's off.
Yeah. It's off. You're not getting that surgery. It could be life-saving.
Right. Can you immediately pay out of pocket for it?
Or you going to put it on your bills, and then you not knowing that maybe United Healthcare come back and be like, well, we never okayed that surgery at that place anyway. Bro. So, and that's probably what United Healthcare would do, because it seems like United Healthcare and the CEO that had gotten passed, that had gotten shot, and the subsequent CEO was more so like their United Healthcare's MO was, we're going to deny it until we can't deny it anymore. And then if they fight through the denials, then we'll pay for it, right?
Right.
they're doing the same thing probably with Ascension. They're denying stuff, and then Ascension is like, stop denying. You're making our employees have to do more work than they should have to do, and you're making these other our patients have to go through all of the stuff they have to go through. Stop denying stuff. And so this is on a grand level. This is a national scale. But what we're doing is we're showing how it's directly going to affect you, right? Because these places are all over. It's directly going to affect you. So a lot of times, like we were talking this morning, a lot of times people think whether it's the federal government, whether it's the corporations like this, whether it's the shutdown, whether it's this shutdown, that it's so far off that it's not going to affect you. No. This is going to affect you directly right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, for most of the people that go, I'm telling you, United Healthcare is the insurance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just understand that, and I hope those of you who may be caretakers for your parents or your grandparents or somebody, even one of your husband or your wife or somebody like that you really understand and are paying attention to this, because a lot of people just felt like they were going to get it done. They were going to get it done. And the same way people felt like the government wouldn't shut down. But it was like, no, we're not conceding. You know what I'm saying? So it's a battle, and people's lives are being affected.
Right.
And that's a crazy thing. That's a crazy thing. The True Talk text lines are open, 833-212-1017. What's your truth on this shutdown, the government shutdown? What's your thoughts on the Ascension and United Healthcare not being able to work it out?
That's crazy that you have both of these shutdowns happen at the same time.
That's where I'm going, man.
Because, and so it's like, if you live in Milwaukee or any city and this happens to you, right, you're like, you feeling it. Like we're saying, you're feeling it directly. With the federal shutdown, it may be some space in there, but you're going to feel it directly. So now you can feel what they feeling. Everybody's feeling this.
At the same time. We got to get ready to take care of some bills. We want to hear from you, 833-212-1017. We'll be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Milwaukee College Prep, redefining what's educationally possible so more children can pursue their dream. Join me, Craig Karmazin, and Milwaukee College Prep Thursday, October 23rd at Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and take a stand in closing the opportunity gap for Milwaukee scholars. Your support means quality education is accessible to over 2,000 scholars in Milwaukee. Enjoy food, drinks, and a chance to learn more. Purchase tickets at 2025. TakeAstand.GiveSmart.com. That's 2025. TakeAstand.GiveSmart.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
You ever notice how the phrase 9 to 5 sounds just so old school? That's because in 2025, the 9 to 5 is as outdated as a rotary phone. Let's be real. The world has changed, and the way we work has changed with it. The gig economy is booming. Folks are making money on their own terms, driving Ubers, delivering DoorDash, freelancing, and side hustling their way to the bag. And then there's the work-from-home revolution. People are clocking in from their kitchen tables, their favorite coffee shops, or even the beach. Laptops open, pajamas on, productivity up. The virtual office is now the new corner office, and the only commute is from the bed to the desk. Let's not forget about the digital nomads, those bold souls who turn the world into their workplace. They're sending emails from Bali, closing deals in Barcelona, and living life on their own schedule. No time clock, no cubicle, just Wi-Fi and a dream. And 21st century entrepreneurship, well, it's a whole new game. You can launch a business from your phone, build a brand on Instagram, and make more in a week than some folks do in a month without even punching a clock. So who's still working that old 9-to-5 job? People who are resistant to change or maybe just can't adapt. The future belongs to the flexible, the creative, the hustlers who know how to make technology work for them. The 9-to-5, well, that's a museum piece. The real action is happening outside the box, where freedom and opportunity are just a click away.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
We have an accident on the ramp from westbound 94 to northbound 41 in the zoo. It's off on the right shoulder. Just mentioning that so that you're not surprised. We do have eastbound 94 backing up quite a bit from 92nd Street all the way through the stadium. Part of the problem, we do have a broken down vehicle off on the left shoulder at about 84th Street. And then we also have another disabled vehicle on the off ramp to Hawley Road from 94 eastbound as well. So something to keep in mind there. Otherwise, southbound 43 now starting to slow down just before Good Hope Road, down towards Bender Road. 41 southbound slowing down just south of Main Street down to about Good Hope Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy skies, a high of 71 at the lake, 78 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 58 at the lake, 55 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We're black. Welcome to Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, inside the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown at the Avenue. We're talking about all of the shutdowns and the meltdowns and the breakdowns. You get what I'm saying?
Like I was saying before the break,
all of
my mic don't feel. Like I was saying before the
same time. Yeah,
it's crazy that it's all happening at the same time. So you are going to feel it. Regardless, you may not feel that shutdown immediately, but you're going to feel this one immediately. And you may not feel that one, but you're going to feel. So it's vice. So everybody's going to feel some effects of a shutdown on October 1st, and that's where we are.
Yeah. Courtney Schweda on the True Talk text line. Great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Said all insurance companies do that. Work comp insurance especially. Said the government and the big biz do not care about us. When are we going to realize that? No health care for multiple people while they are not getting paid for their jobs? Sounds like the MAGA plan to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because if you just think though, if you work for the government and it's double, you work for the government,
right?
You got United Healthcare because a lot of government entities use United Healthcare. The city does, and I assume the federal government does as well. So a lot of government entities use United Healthcare. You're not going to get paid, and you can't go to the doctor,
right?
And so now it's like if you have diabetes, if you have something chronic like that, where you have to go see the doctor on a regular basis, who's to tell if something happens in that interim? Yeah, you could go to the emergency, whatever the free emergency is of that area, the county, whatever. But eventually they going to hit your pockets.
That's right.
For that.
That's
your
right.
Your pockets are going to, when they ask for that insurance and you can't produce that insurance, your pockets are going to be hit for that. So that's the double effect of that on federal workers for what Trump is doing. And Trump's whole thing, the shutdown is based upon the healthcare as well. Like we were saying.
Absolutely.
We got United Healthcare doing what they're doing, but you also got this shutdown based upon
the affordable health care.
The affordable health care. Because the Democrats are just saying, man, we got Obamacare, it's working, the people are getting health care. Don't make it double in 2026. When they log in November, when it's open enrollment, and they go to log in and they go to re-up their stuff, and then they see that what they were paying $100 for now is $300.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just using those numbers.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What are we? Why? Why can't Trump just be like, okay, here you go, take this. I can give you that, because that's all they could be, like I was telling you, they could be asking for a million reasons.
Absolutely.
For the government to be shut down, for cut to special aid, like we was talking about earlier this week, cut to Medicaid, cut to him not giving out the FEMA money properly. That's just the usual government stuff.
That's right.
Not the regular stuff that Trump does for the stuff to be shut down. But all we asking for is this, fam, and you don't want to give it to us?
Right.
Now why? Why does Trump not want to give them just that?
Man, listen, that little baby that they be having floating around, that's him. That's truly him, in my opinion. Like, just throwing temper tantrums. If something doesn't go his way, there's a temper tantrum, and it's costing people lives and livelihoods.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Every time he wants to throw that, there's so many people, man, that are working class people that are out of work just because he wanted to throw a tantrum. Yeah, and now you got to close your business down. You got to close your. You say anything remotely about it's black, it's this, it's that. He's attacking everything that really built this country.
Yeah. Yesterday we were talking about special ed in Wisconsin, and we're talking about the fact that they couldn't get their money because of them using the word equitable. And just because Trump and his petty administration, you use the word equitable, it's now a bad word. Like we were saying, what other words are they going to make a bad word? Like they've made woke a bad word. Now equity and equitable is a bad word. But I say all of that to say, Trump doesn't want Obamacare because it's Obamacare.
He
hates Obama.
That's it.
It's so petty that he hates Obama that he's gonna make all of these other people do all of this other stuff and go through all of these hoops. Now, I say that to say, are the people that are running Trump using his pettiness and his ego to get him to sign off on stuff with ulterior motives to it? Now, I gave the example when you and I were talking of a landlord. A landlord gets written up for something, maybe his furnace doesn't work. A landlord gets written up for his furnace not working. DNS comes through, they placard the building. He's got 8 tenants in this building. This landlord has always, when you placard the building, everybody's got to go. The landlord has always wanted to move these people out, right? So now that the building is placarded, I'm not going to fix whatever you placarded it for, and everybody's got to go. So now I just saved a bunch of money.
That's right.
Getting all of these people out. I didn't have to send them to court. I didn't have to do nothing. The building's uninhabitable. Everybody's got to go. What if the shutdown is Trump saying the federal government is uninhabitable, everybody's got to go? Because they're talking about some people could lose their job. Mass layoffs.
Yes, sir.
And he can say he's laying these people off because of the shutdown. But once these people are laid off,
it's over.
I don't know the language of it, but is the language that, okay, once the shutdown is over, you automatically come back and get your job? We don't know that. So he could be getting rid of people just to be getting rid of people. And
Andrew, what you got?
I said it's being furloughed. That's what the word he's looking for.
Furloughed. They're being furloughed. So if they're being furloughed, after the shutdown is over, are they automatically called back? Because Trump can say, well, we've been operating so well without these furloughed workers. We just keep them furloughed, pay them a little bit, and they'll be gone. Because that's what he did with the people anyway, right? Yeah. So I wonder if
it's kind of the same thing like with the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah,
there are a lot of people that were we're not going black in office.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? And our downtown was suffering because a lot of restaurants closed and other businesses because they depended on employees being downtown and being their biggest consumers.
I know some restaurants that I go to that still haven't gone back to people being able to sit down. It's because they realize,
they can do this with all
function,
these other entities.
And we don't have to pay a waiter.
Uber Eats and all that. Mm-hmm.
We don't have to pay a waiter. We don't have to pay a waitress. We don't have to pay all this extra money. We can still function. What if the government decides and Trump decides we can still function without these people? And that happens. So now you have all these people losing their jobs or something like that. That's the cost of a shutdown and what we're risking just because he's being petty and don't like Obama.
Yeah. Let's see. We're getting ready to play a clip, but Sis Star, Lorena Star Marie, great morning, love you, appreciate you. Sip 45, great morning, love you, appreciate you. DBT Trailblazers, great morning, love you, appreciate you. He said, DBT said, how are you fellas doing this morning? I have a quick question. Does that affect FEMA?
Yes.
Absolutely. We got a clip. Andrew, set this clip up for us, please.
This is Donald Trump yesterday talking about the shutdown in Medicare.
All right.
We have $17 trillion being invested, so the last person that wants it shut down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And, we're cutting that. But they tell you we have $17 trillion being invested.
That's basically what I said, right?
Yes, sir.
And he may just be saying that as idle threats to the Democrats, like to get them not to do it in negotiating tactic. He thinks he's always negotiating. Right. He's the deal maker.
And here's where, unfortunately, in my opinion, he wins. He wins because those who we are making sure that everybody understands what's going on in layman terms. Those that don't really get it and don't understand the effects that it's going to have on their everyday lives. He's saying that to make them feel like, well, see, they need to do this. They need to hurry up then because you get what I'm saying? And it's like, no. Let's peel back the layers of what I call cow manure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you can fearmonger people.
You can fearmonger
when they don't know. When they don't know. But you're not going to do that with Truth Nation because we're going to make sure that everybody knows and understands. And just like with DBT Trailblazers saying, does that affect FEMA? And the answer is yes.
Yes, it does affect FEMA. And how it affects FEMA, FEMA get their money from the Disaster Relief Fund. And the Disaster Relief Fund is just a fund that the government has set up for things like FEMA, right? And we'll talk about this later, how other stuff comes from that money as well. But FEMA's money comes from that money. And if the government is shut down, then that money isn't re-up. And so then it runs dangerously low. And so there could be, if the shutdown lasts long enough, there could be a point where FEMA doesn't have any money and FEMA can't do the things that it needs to do.
Absolutely, including when you have these disasters like we had with the floods here.
We had our own, that exactly.
You know what I mean? So again, people that think, this ain't gonna affect, well, it don't bother me. You should be and you need to be concerned. And that is part of the issue. It's a lot of people, Dame, in our city, man, that have a real nonchalant attitude, like this won't touch me and my life's still gonna be lifing and this, that, and the other. And it's like, until it's not. And when you find out the reason it's not, I didn't know it was gonna do this. I didn't know, they can do that. Be like, we've been trying to enlighten you and inform you. So those things that you may not see in those bills, you know what I'm saying? In those bills, it's like you gonna learn today. Yeah. True Talk text lines are open, 833-212-1017. We got to take care of some bills, but we'll be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretend conservative all day. And you do make me think. But when you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at weenergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
Being a caregiver for a family member can be very rewarding. It can be very challenging, too. Besides taking a physical and emotional toll, it can also take a real financial toll, especially if you're paying for home safety upgrades, covering medical expenses, cutting back on hours at your job, or having to leave your job altogether. In some states and in certain situations, you may be eligible to get paid for the care you provide, but finding reliable information about caregiver compensation can be overwhelming and very time-consuming. The AARP Foundation Paid for Care Hub can help. It's a free online tool developed with support from United Healthcare, where you can search compensation programs, explore your options, and get answers to frequently asked questions. Find out today if it's possible to be compensated for the time, effort, and care you're providing. Visit paidforcare.aarpfoundation.org to learn more.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We are your cousin subs of the day. I'm a club sub, the legendary Home Blow, along with
the legendary Dame Elsie in the building.
Brought to you by Cousin Subs. Of course, we are talking about all of the shutdowns. We're talking about the fact that Ascension and United Healthcare couldn't work it out and get it done. Who do you fault? You know what I'm saying? Is it Ascension? Is it, are you on the side of United Healthcare? Be like, well, they shouldn't have, I'm with Dame on this. Like, you can't bully. You feel what I'm saying? You know that, you got all this money and, yeah, you playing with people's lives, like literally.
Especially United Healthcare. And it seems like they would have learned their lesson when Luigi pulled the Born Identity on their CEO.
Mm-hmm.
They would have learned their lesson. Let's change our mode of operation.
Right.
When you're dealing with a corporation and there's not one person in the head in charge and it's no one face that you can point to and everybody's faceless, they're going to keep doing what they're doing to make money. And how they making money? They denying claims. And so when they're denying claims, the doctors are affected as well, the Ascension doctors, because those claims that's how they get paid.
Absolutely.
So it's not just you having to pay for this, it's they're denying these claims, they're denying these surgeries. Like, the doctors are not getting that money. So Ascension is having to cover this money, and Ascension's like, we tired of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And United Healthcare is just their business operation, business mode of just denying until they can't deny no more, which has probably made them a lot of money, is not going to work well with these other companies because they're going to start saying, no, man, we want our money.
Right.
And Ascension might just be the first.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's down the line.
Yeah. And, so, and those of you who have FEMA claims coming.
Yeah.
Delayed.
It's going to be delayed.
Delayed.
And that directly affects Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so this, amongst a lot of other things, is why you should be concerned. Let's see. Our Truth Talk text poll is up on the YouTube page. And is it on Facebook as well?
Andrew? It can be.
Yeah. Let's put it on Facebook as well. Will the contract dispute between Ascension and United Healthcare affect you? So if you have United Healthcare, if you go to Ascension, Will it affect you, yes or no? Some people may not have United Healthcare, but I know a lot of people who do.
It is absolutely going to affect me.
You know what I mean?
And luckily, I got all my prescriptions filled just last week. And so I should be good, hopefully, by the time at least for a month or so, 6 weeks.
Yep. And as I mentioned earlier, man, I think that doctors who are concerned about their patients and they don't want to get caught up in what they're caught up in right now, the haggling back and forward. They know that their patients need these things. So a lot of those doctors ended up sending out, they tried to beat the September 30th deadline to send out those prescriptions. So hopefully people took advantage of that and you'll be able to at least get your medication and the things that you may need to survive or help you live a healthier or a better life. Because if not, you're going to end up trying to put that claim in and be like, no, denied.
Yeah. And, we oftentimes talk about community, right? And this Ascension is a part of the community. So is the stuff that's going on with the shutdown. Those people are a part of our community. And what we have to understand is we often talk about living in a bubble. And if you live in a bubble, you think, like the theme of today's show is that things that you think aren't going to affect you.
That's right.
Are going to affect you at some point. And if you have to, what that means is you have to stay aware. You have to stay woke. You have to stay into what's going on in your community. And if you're not knowing what's going on, then this stuff happens and you don't have a say in it and you don't know what's going on. Now you're affected by it. And you're like, when did this happen? Why can't I go see the doctor? Why can't I get my FEMA claim to go through? Even through air traffic controllers, why can't I get on a plane and go because the air traffic controllers are affected by the shutdown as well?
Yep.
Although they're essential employees, they still, they're affected. So maybe they call in sick. Maybe they decide, hey, I'm not finna just work for free, man. I'm calling in sick for the next month.
Right.
And you get that type of, so now planes, this could have a trickle-down effect in so many different areas. And if you're living in your bubble, you don't know what's going on.
Real talk. And speaking of that, with talking about the funds that it affects, how does this equate with the National Guards? How do they get paid?
Well, the National Guards funds come from the same fund that the FEMA come from, right? So when Trump is up here, and this is crazy because the government is shut down, but on the same day that the government is shut down, Trump is up here talking about sending the National Guard to Chicago, New York, San Francisco, all these different places, right? But that's coming from the same money that FEMA uses. That's coming from the disaster relief fund. So every dollar spent there is a dollar that they can't spend on. So we just talked about how that pool of money is shrinking because of the shutdown, but Trump still want to send troops someplace. And we got a guy, Andy, you got that clip of my man? Yeah, we got a clip. Cause y'all, I watch C-SPAN. That's what I do sometimes. I'm kind of a nerd. I watch C-SPAN.
Well, I think when you're in radio and media, you have to be, you got to keep up with it. Even though a lot of people say, man, I don't watch the news, I don't this. It's part of our job.
Well, C-SPAN is when they show the actual committee meetings. I don't like hearing the sound bites. I want to hear what this person had to say. So yesterday I'm watching it and they're talking about the National Guard and this general comes up and the general is talking and he's breaking down what the National Guard can do, what they can't do. But then he's also breaking down where that money comes from and when that money is used, how you're going to be affected if that money is spent frivolously. So it's not just, let's just throw out the National Guard and it just happens.
Right. We got that clip together. All right, we're about to, if you are on our YouTube page. And remember, when you go to our YouTube page, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. And on Facebook, 1017 The Truth. That's where you'll find us. X, 1017 The Truth. So we're going to show this if you are watching us on YouTube or Facebook Live.
We deployed to assist in disaster recovery. We deployed to New Orleans for Hurricane Katrina, to Illinois for Mississippi River floods, to St. Louis for tornadoes, the Nevada Air National Guard for forest fires, to name but a few. You've heard what we are. Here's what we're not. We're not trained as police officers. Our soldiers may receive a couple of hours a year in civil disturbance training. We do not receive the months and years of training required to become qualified police officers. We're not trained to perform arrests, to perform traffic stops, to perform investigations, to follow up on crime tips. The calls to mobilize the Guard fail to understand this, nor do they understand the cost to mobilize the Guard. There's the cost to the taxpayer. The number I've heard for Los Angeles is $120 million for 4,000 guardsmen for 60 days. That's a high price tag for a stopgap measure. How many police officers could have been hired, trained, and put on the streets for $120 million? There's the cost to the Department of Defense and to FEMA. Every dollar spent on a misguided use is a dollar that can't be spent on training or equipping these soldiers, that can't be spent on their real mission. A dollar that isn't there for disaster response when the next hurricane hits New Orleans or the next tornado levels St. Louis. And there's the hidden costs to the soldiers and their families. These are part-time soldiers. They have jobs at home. They have educations they are missing. They have families who rely on them, employers who rely on them. Let me...
Wow.
Yep.
William Earhart is his name. And he used to be a general, I guess, for the National Guard. And he just kind of, he knows.
Broke it down, yeah.
He broke it down so that it can forever remain broke. So this money, every dollar you're spending is coming from someplace else. It's not so, people have this belief that the federal government just prints out money and it just appears. No.
Right.
It got to be taken from someplace. And that's coming from the disaster relief fund. So when they take that money, you not getting your FEMA check. Because Trump just spent $120 million to send them to Los Angeles for 60 days.
Right.
$120 million.
Real talk.
But at the same time, he's cutting funding in Wisconsin for special ed programs. $8 million. But he sent $120 million to L.A.? Come on, man. And that's the effects of everything that's going on around y'all. So if y'all live in a bubble, all of this stuff is going to affect you at some point.
Because the bubble is being popped.
Absolutely.
Our Truth Talk text line poll, will the contract dispute between Ascension and United Healthcare affect you? Andrew, where are we at with that? How many yeses, nos? Who's winning?
60% say no, Homer.
Okay. All right. So 60% says they ain't got United Healthcare. So they good. They good. Do you think the government shut down? So we got that. Let's put up that as we get ready to take care of some bills. The post and the poll of, do you believe that the government shutdown will affect you?
Let's see what they say about it.
And see what they say. We got to take care of some bills, but we'll be black.
Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this.
Congratulations. Woo! God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away.
Oh.
So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Teachers are the heart of our classrooms, but what does it take to keep the great ones in the classroom and to inspire the next generation? Join me, Kyle Wallace, and City 4 Collective's Coleston Morgan Jr. for the next episode of Forward Together for Kids. We'll talk about the joys and challenges of teaching and how education policy at the state level impacts what happens in our local classrooms. Tune in Saturday, October 4th at 11:30 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth with a replay on Sunday, October 5th at 2:30 p.m. The biggest snowflakes out here have always been the white Republicans, who are so gung-ho on protecting the feelings of white kids while they ignore the needs of other kids. If Milwaukee's youth has a problem with fighting, well, white youth have a problem with being destructive and offensive. So it is sad that our government is actively working to de-emphasize educating and uplifting students of color in different backgrounds on college campuses. That emphasis is going to be diminished, and the only kids that will suffer will be our kids. They were willing to hold up the advancement of the state of Wisconsin because they disagree with DEI. What are white Republicans afraid of? Why are they afraid to face the fact that their grandmas and grandpapas were part of a system which purposely held black folks back and failed to give us the access that we deserve? Until these politicians stop ignoring these egregious acts of hate and racial incidents, America can never be great again.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do the wiggles.
The slate's coming in. What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 1017 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
And we are back. 101.7 The Truth. Truth in the Morning. I'm your man, Dame El, the legendary Dame Elsie, in the building, along with my brother in microphone, the legendary Homer Blow. And we want to welcome y'all back to the second hour of Truth in the Morning. Now, before we left, we were talking about the National Guard, and we had the general from the National Guard talking, and he was speaking to what the National Guard can do and what they can't do, how much it's going to cost. But what we have to understand is all of this is going on right now, but just yesterday, Trump said this. What did he say, Andrew?
What they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. Controlling the physical territory of our border is essential to national security. We can't let these people in. What they've done to San Francisco, Chicago.
Wow. There's so much to unpack right there, Homer.
It really is, bro.
There's so much to unpack with what he just said. But under the context of what we've been talking about, and what we've been talking about is the funding and the shutdown. And right now, they were on the verge of being shut down when he said this. At 12:01, they got shut down. And he's still talking about spending. Let's say it costs $120 million to send them to L.A. How much is it going to cost to send them to New York?
Right.
To send them to Memphis? You talking about $1 billion to send them to all of these different places when all of that is added up. But you shutting down the government at the same time. So you're spending $1 billion, but people that work for the federal government are not going to be getting checks.
That part.
You know, FEMA is not going to be funded. There's all this stuff that's going on. So where are the priorities of this administration and of this president? And I'm telling people in Milwaukee, y'all better wake up, because that's going to directly affect you, because Milwaukee may not be high on that list of the cities he want to send the National Guard, but he want to send them here.
Right.
So just that alone, just wake up, y'all.
Listen, it is so crazy because, again, when you think about we're talking about how it affects people and who's it going to affect directly, where are we at on the poll right now? Will the government shutdown affect you, Andrew? What is the thoughts of the Truth Nation?
67% say yes.
I'm glad that they understand.
Yeah,
they understand, because it really is. And again, you know, the fight between Democrats, Republicans, what they gonna do. I just really want to know, like, with that tug of war that people are saying and having, talking about, well, they ain't doing it, they ain't doing that. Are you really good right now under this Republican-led situation. I mean, you got to really, so when people try to say, well, the Democrats ain't doing this, and they ain't doing this, and they ain't doing that. So when you say that, are you saying you're comfortable with where we are now, that this is a better choice, that the decision to put him, because that's what it sounds like. So maybe I'm hearing it wrong, Dane. What do you get out of it?
You're not hearing it wrong. If that's when people are saying negative things about the contrary, and we're gonna probably have some call in. Y'all call in, but we're probably gonna have some black Republicans calling in a minute. They waking up right now and they're gonna talk crazy to me because they hate it when I say so. But if you're a black person in America right now, how can you now? You don't have to support the Democratic Party. You don't have to be whatever. You can be independent. But how can you be a black Republican when they are doing things like shutting down the government, when they are doing things that are going to directly affect you
because of the color of your skin,
and just because of the color of your skin, and just because they don't like, they are shutting down portions of grants just because the word equitable is in there. Now, to make things equitable is not a bad thing, but if the benefit of equality is you as a black person are given a fair shot, you as a black person are playing on the same level playing field as everyone else. So as a black Republican, this is what you stand for? Is the lack of equity? No equitable situations in this whole government? That's what you stand for? Because that's what you're saying to me.
And that's exactly I heard. It's like, well, y'all acting like so again, when you say that, you're experiencing what we have right now, and it's almost like saying, well, let him do what he gonna do.
Yeah, let Trump do what let him do what he gonna do. Come on, man.
But you know you suffering.
You know you suffering, and we talked about that a little bit yesterday. Is the belief that, and I heard Sherman talking about it, and I mentioned it a little bit on our show in the morning. It was that the poor white person believes, and now I've switched from the black people to the poor. They believe that somehow they're going to be Jeff Bezos. Somehow they are going to be Bill Gates. They're going to, because of the American dream. So they believe Trump is protecting their right to be on that level. Now, on the flip side of that, black people believe that Trump is protecting their right to live like that white person down the road. The assimilation factor of it, right? They believe that Trump is protecting their right to assimilate to the point where they can have the freedom of white folks in America. Come on, man.
Right. Andrew put up on our YouTube and Facebook Live page, sending National Guard to Chicago could cost taxpayers nearly $1.6 million a day.
A day.
Analysts say.
A day. And like that general was saying, General Earhart was saying, that money could be spent so many different ways. Because that committee that we're talking about is a committee where they talk about trying to stop crime across the country. So this is your mode to spend $1.6 million a day where you could employ Crime Stoppers. You could employ 414 workers that we have in Milwaukee. You could employ people like that to go out and actually try to stop the crime, to actually be in the communities. It don't even have to go to, and it could go to the police. It could go to many different ways, right? But you're just deciding, because I want to make a statement, I want to take things over.
Temper tantrum.
I'm going to send the National Guard. And I'm telling y'all better wake up. He not sending the National Guard to these red states, because we got somebody later on that's going to talk about how the crime in some of these other states is way higher than the crime in Illinois and the places he wants to send the National Guard. He's sending the National Guard there to take over those cities. And that is what you do when you are doing a coup. You send the National Guard, you send the Army into places that don't support you so that you can squash any type of resistance that comes from that area.
The National Guard Marine deployment in Los Angeles costed $134 million, the Pentagon said.
So that's $14 million, and that man even mentioned $134 million. They throwing around millions like they dollars.
Right. But yet we shut down.
Yes. But yet we shut down. People ain't going to get paid. FEMA ain't going to get the money it needs. And so you're directly affected by that. But yet, he gonna spend. So then also, if he sends the National Guard to these places where the shutdown is, the National Guard ain't finna get paid.
Right.
And so these, like that man was saying, these people have jobs. They have regular jobs that they're called up from. They do regular things in the community. So these are firefighters. These are police officers. These are essential workers in our community that are taken away to go do this stuff, right? Come on, man. Trump is tripping.
Tamisha Gilbert, great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Gabe Williams said he hit in Louisiana. Hashtag MKE. Great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Says, sadly, in governance, crime pays, and they exploit this too through insurance institutions and city service providers. And where are we at with the poll? Will the government shutdown affect you? Where are we at? Yeses and no's.
67% say yes, it will affect them.
Okay. True Talk text lines are open, 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Want to hear what is your truth to this, and do you really understand the depths that this is going to affect you? Because I think that a lot of people feel disconnected from it, like it ain't doing nothing in my life right now, so it ain't doing it. But it is. It is. It is. And even when some people don't think about the fact that although you think it doesn't affect you directly, it is indirectly affecting you, because some people, just like with the Section 8 stuff, getting ready to flip and do what it's going to do, where you're only going to be able to be on there so many times. There's a lot of people that live with somebody that's on Section 8, and you ain't going to have nowhere to go either. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Your child's mother, she was eligible to go ahead and get a Section 8 place, and, you know, she knew she wasn't supposed to be able to have you there with her, but you've been there with her since she moved there. Well, guess what? When she has to go and your child or children had to go, so do you.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So if we got to just continue to give you the smash mouth truth, then that's what we going to do. We need you to understand, like bam, in your face. Yeah. So the things that you thinking, oh, yeah, well, when she get her check, she ain't going to get no check. You feel what I'm saying? All of those things are going to end up affecting you in one way or another, directly or indirectly. And when it hits you indirectly, then you're going to understand the directly part.
Because people live, like we keep saying. Man. You living in that bubble. And when you in that bubble, you thinking, whether it be your bubble is in the streets, whether the bubble is in corporate life, whether your bubble is over here, it's still in a bubble. And you think that nothing's going to get through that bubble. You've insulated yourself from the rest of the world, and you think that you have something that's going to, if you're rich, you think, oh, I'm rich, I'm protected by this. But, well, okay, you rich right now, but when the National Guard come to the city, they not going to care that you rich. That's right. So your bubble is busted when you trying to get home, and the National Guard has got a roadblock there, and they shut down something that you can't get to. Now you feel what other people are saying. So I'm using that as an example. Right. But we have to realize that living in the bubble is not the way to go.
And William already said that that they're not trained in this, they ain't trained in that. So yeah, it's gonna be a military train of thought when they come. Andrew, you got something you
I got nothing for you, Homer. It's a head scratcher what we're doing.
It's definitely a head scratcher. Yeah. And let's go back to the National Guard on this one. So Trump wants to send the National Guard to all these different places, right? It's going to cost $134 million. Those National Guard people come from those states, and so that they are taking people from these states and forcing them to police people that they may know. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
The legendary Home Blow, along with
the legendary Dame Elsie in the building.
Troop Nation, 833-212-1017. We'll be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth. Coming with straight truth.
We can do anything when it comes to being organized, when it comes to making sure that we're active, when it comes to making sure that we're holding people accountable and making sure that we get something out of the deal. Y'all don't know how to make deals. Y'all mad at Donald J. Trump because he's trying to make deals or trying to say that he's the master of the art of the deal. Well, okay, what deals is you trying to make?
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app. Whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew, let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We're black. Welcome to Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth inside the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown at the Avenue. We are your cousin subs of the day. I'm a club sub, the legendary Home Blow, along with
the legendary Dame Elsie in the building.
You'll find out whatever sub he is before we are done this morning. Brought to you by Cousin Subs. And again, the hot button topic, and it's really hot button because we need people to really understand what this means because, some people get it. Some people follow politics and they understand the effects. Some people work for the government, so they definitely are understanding and feeling it. But the trickle-down effect of some of you that may not really understand what this shutdown means, what the United Healthcare and Ascension squabble means. And we just need you. We don't want to have to come back and be like, see, this is what we was talking about.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? It's like we have to understand how important it is to be proactive about it instead of just being reactive. Because a lot of these things, he's saying to your face, saying like, yep, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And a lot of people are just FAAFOing.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
We played the clip earlier of Trump talking about sending people to Washington, sending the National Guard to Washington, sending the National Guard to all these different places. And then we played a clip of how much it's going to cost to send these National Guard members to these different cities.
$1.6 million a day, $134 million used by L.A.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to shut down. And this was, like I said, I watched C-SPAN, y'all. And just yesterday, they're having a committee meeting about sending National Guard places, sending the National Guard to different places. And what we don't realize is that when that National Guard is going to these places, that's costing us money. And Trump is using the National Guard as to do more of his petty work, right? To do more of his petty business.
Right.
They had a whole committee meeting called the Blue City Chaos. And what does that mean? That means cities that are run by Democratic mayors are chaotic. So we got to send the national. That's just politics. So they're spending your money on politics when the truth of the matter is these states that they're sending them to, the crime level isn't as high as other states. So even if you do believe that you need the National Guard because the crime is so high, well, then my man that we're about to play got a different. Senator Dick Durbin from Illinois is saying, he's saying a little bit different. What Dick talking about? Pause.
Yeah.
Look no further than its title, Blue City Chaos, which falsely suggests that communities with Democratic leaders are less safe than communities with Republican leaders. Let's look at the reality. For the last 2 decades, the murder rate in my home state of Illinois has been lower than the murder rate in Missouri, Louisiana, and Alabama, all states represented by Republicans on this committee. Or take a look at Shreveport, Louisiana, a city with a Republican mayor and a Republican governor represented in Congress by the Speaker of the House and 2 Republican senators. FBI statistics show that Shreveport has a higher violent crime rate than Washington, D.C.
Higher violent crime rate than Washington, D.C., but he took over Washington, D.C. He's talking about taking over Chicago, but all of these red states have a higher crime per capita than Chicago does and then Illinois does, but it's the Blue City Chaos. That's his ego. That's his pettiness. That's his wanting to take over these areas and going to cost you money.
Right.
So even if you don't care about none of that and all you care about is the bottom line, we've already told you that this is going to cost you $120 million every time he sends his National Guard someplace. So are you okay with that?
Right. Hashtag MKE on the YouTube page said, a massive majority of the black demographic is already impacted, but they are in denial on the basis of whether employment and shelter should be their focus, but they are focused on securing benefits that will no longer exist. Even businesses, they trying to secure grants and other government contracts. If you don't have the complexion for the connection, it no longer exists for you. And also came black to say that's an abject denial when they should be securing themselves by seeking employment and shelter before winter hits. Salute, Durbin B. Bruce said.
He just made black people squirrels right then.
Yeah.
They should be seeking shelter before winter hits. That's
hibernation.
That's hibernation stuff.
Yeah.
Right
So
I didn't get it, but that's cool. He usually on point. Yeah, B. Bruce, salute Durbin. Durbin came with it. And let me just say this. I also want to add this. Is the federal government so short in money that they don't have smart boards? Because why is that brother standing behind him holding up a sign like it's a football game? I didn't get that. And
was he holding up the stats?
Yeah.
To represent.
What's up, Andrew?
They're keeping Stables employed, all right?
Come on, man.
Keeping Kiko's employed.
That's who it is. Because why don't they have a smart board? I want the government to have a smart board where all he has to do is press a button. Now, I understand Dick Durbin is dropping knowledge, but Dick is about old as dirt, and so maybe he couldn't press a button. I don't know.
Damn. Is his name Richard or something? Just
on that thing, it said Dick Durbin.
Yeah, I know. It's just
come on, man.
Keep saying it.
His name is Dick. That man's name was Dick, wasn't it? Or something?
Oh, damn. We got a long way to go before a break.
Listen, man.
I can't even go to a break.
Listen, though. But
let's get most dangerous cities.
Let's get back to being focused. Put that back up, Andrew. Why don't you take it down? The top 10 most focused.
Yeah, no, it's here.
I want to see it again. And so what I'm saying is, the
you don't
top
see
10,
it?
I see it now.
Oh, okay.
It went away. East St. Louis, Detroit, Memphis, Birmingham, Baltimore. These are cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these are the top 10 most dangerous cities. But as a state as a whole, these other places have more violence as a whole. So because we live in an urban center and all of our violence is in one urban center, he's making it like Blue City Chaos. Well, what about Blue State savagery. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making the S's match up. Blue state savagery, or red state savagery. What about that? Because we talked about what happens in Alabama when they had the kids buried and was doing all the wild stuff.
Right.
We talk about these judges and these politicians that are doing crazy stuff, these red politicians. So what about that? But again, the bottom line is they wasting your money. And they're creating an issue that isn't there because crime has been down in these areas. They're creating an issue that isn't there just to waste your money. So you talking about it ain't going to affect me. And yeah, we should send the National. Okay, let them send the National Guard someplace. But then you have some natural disaster in your hometown and you not getting no money for it. Your special ed in your city gets cut down because they ain't got the money for it. All the stuff, your SNAP benefits get cut because they ain't got. But you wanted the National Guard in Chicago. That's where your money went.
833-212-1017 is the True Talk text line. We've got Pat. Pat, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. You hear the conversation. What's your truth?
Good morning, gentlemen. I was calling to say that, the United States government is playing chess, not checkers. What I mean by that is that they so easily take our minds off things that could really turn this country upside down, like the Epstein files. Why I say that is because America does not mass produce anything but people. It has been ran on slavery. Slavery is still yet alive. People are going missing. I've watched on social media, the number of black young faces that are missing in this country. We are now focused on millions of billions of dollars that we, first of all, know nothing about because we don't even touch that kind of money. But our children are suffering, and we are yet talking about SNAP benefits and Medicaid benefits and things like that, which are important. But let's look at the big picture, and let's look at the game that's really being played. We're being played with our lives, our very lives, our children's lives, and no one seems to understand that. So I'm saying to especially black people, because like I said, I see the faces of young black people going missing, and it seems like it's more. So stay the course, stay vigilant, and let's look at the game for what it really is. It's not Republican or Democrat. They're both in on it. Everybody's in on it. This government, if they really told the truth about what's going on in this government, then we'd be turned upside down, and it wouldn't be about no health care and nothing like this. We are the pawns in this horrible, horrible game that they playing with, and they playing with our lives. They're playing with our children. They're playing with everything. They're playing with our food. They're playing with our water. They're playing with our air. The things that we really need to survive, they're playing with it, and we so worried about food stamps. Let's get it together, people. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your call.
I hear her, but she has to understand that all of that is tied up in together, and you focus on one thing, you miss. She even mentioned herself the big picture. They playing chess. We understand that, and we understand we're going through a lot as a community. But if you miss out on all the stuff that they're doing, you'll miss the moves they make.
Absolutely, and we'll talk about it when we come back. We got to take care of some bills. We'll be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
I want you to really stress the importance of having an ethnically diverse blood supply. But I guess, what do you say to people that, for whatever reason, are apprehensive about giving blood?
It's not by accident that we are building this fixed donation site right in the heart of this Halyard Park, Harambe neighborhood. And to your point, our black and brown donors probably represents the smallest demographic in our donor base. That's attributed to multiple reasons. For those of us that understand the history, there is a lot of underlying mistrust of the healthcare system. And quite frankly, there's already challenges with how busy people are, how accessible they are to even know where to go to donate blood. And let's face it, a lot of folks are scared of needles, right? But when they get through all of that, the importance, I think, is a heavier burden on our black and brown communities, because there are a lot of different blood diseases that require what I'll call more of a match in blood that only comes from people of similar ethnicities. Something that's specific to our black donors and patients is something that I think your listeners are very familiar with: sickle cell disease. The only therapy that get them through their day-to-day life is blood transfusions. And it's not just what I'll call average or normal blood type or blood transfusion. It's actually a specific blood with a specific type called RO blood. And this RO blood typically only comes from people of African descent and Hispanic descent. And so that's why it's so important that our donor base is diverse, so that it helps our ethnically diverse patient population.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
Northbound on 4394, backing up from the Plainfield curve all the way up past Beecher, so give yourself a little extra time there. On the southbound side of 43, backing up from Good Hope Road all the way down to about Burleigh. Westbound 94, just a little heavy, crossing over the county line into Waukesha County. We do still have this accident on the ramp to get onto northbound 41 in the Zoo interchange, something to keep in mind. Eastbound, backing up a bit from just before 84th Street through the Stadium interchange. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy, a high of 71 at the lake, 78 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 58 at the lakefront, 55 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We're black, and we're going to go to the True Talk text lines, and we'll also address the bubble theory. Security Mike, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. You hear the conversation. What's your truth?
Hey, how y'all doing? How you doing, Dane?
I'm all right, how you doing?
That last caller, well, that female, but anyway, these black Trump supporters, they're mad. They're mad now because it's definitely going to affect them. I bet money that last caller, she was a Trump supporter, because her last thing was, y'all worried about food stamps. Well, you better be worried about food stamps, because it ain't only about food stamps. It's about their entitlements. That's what they're after now. That's why they cut funding for special ed kids, and they want to cut the FEMA, they want to cut the Section 8, all that entitlement stuff. They're after that now. So you better be worried about food stamps, because these young brothers don't get that $2.90 to eat. They're going to be out here on the street robbing folks just to eat. Things are getting that bad. And black Trump supporters, they're mad now. I got a couple of uncles now. Y'all said something about they may not get the FEMA money. They already living over there with mold and stuff. See, Trump is messing with people's lives, and people are going to lose lives behind this, man. Serious. Yeah. But these blacks voted for Trump. I know I'm a patrol driver, but every time I want to supplement my income, I'm always delivering. Last year I was delivering, during the election, I was delivering for the Friars on 27th and Center over there. So many blacks were coming in talking about the streets voting for Trump. Streets voting for Trump. So many females that I encountered and was talking to was dissing Kamala and say they vote for Trump. A lot of them probably got Section 8. They're going to feel it. They are going to feel it. That's all I got to say, man. Y'all keep up the good work, man.
Appreciate it. And
real talk.
And the thing that I mentioned, Damon, that we've been talking about is, again, directly or indirectly, you are going to feel it, and it's not going to be light. It's going to be abusive. You're going to get slapped hard. It's going to be because. And this is why, tell people to come back and listen to this morning's show, just so they can really kind of get a breakdown of it. So even the some of the younger women out there that think it's all sweet, make them listen to it. Make them watch the show so they can really understand how these kind of things are affecting you. Even if you think it's not affecting you now, I don't care if you are a stripper. When there's nobody that can come to the damn strip club to pay you for dancing, and you be like, where are all the big spenders at?
That's real talk.
They're being affected.
That's real talk.
They are being affected. And so because they're being affected, that's why they can't afford to come to the damn strip club. They losing everything. They realizing that the money that they thought they have, they don't have anymore.
Omer just broke it down to the
layman terms.
So it had to be broken. So if the stripper ain't getting no money, brother, you ain't getting no money.
I'm just saying.
I feel you.
And you at home with your wife. Where you should have been in the first damn place. I'm just saying.
Listen,
keeping it real to the next level.
I'm a stripper, so I'm gonna shut my mouth. But listen, well, let's go back to the first caller. I'm not gonna repeat it. If you missed it, you missed it. Let's go. But yeah, like Homer said, y'all make sure y'all can see all of this stuff we talk about. Send the link to YouTube, to the Facebook Live, to the app. Send it to people, so that they can go back later on. If they can't listen to it from 7 to 9, they can listen to it from 6 to 8. Make sure they go listen to it, right?
Right.
And they go check it out when they got time. But the first caller that my man was responding to, and she was talking about, now y'all worried about SNAP. Well, we have to understand that's again what he was saying, and he kind of picked up on the theme of today, is that you're living in a bubble. Mm-hmm. All of this stuff, and she even said it herself, they playing chess, not checkers. When you playing chess, you can't be worried about the queen, right? Because you have to be worried about it, but if you just focused on that one issue, and let's say the queen is an issue, you just focus on that, then they're going to come get you with the rook. They're going to come get you with the bush. So you have to focus on everything. And the SNAP and all of this that we're talking about is painting the big picture of what we need to be defending against. And what we need to be defending ourselves against is the moves of Trump and what he's doing and what that administration is doing, whether you're Republican, whether you Democrat, if you black, that is directly affecting you. And if you love black people, you should be like, let's find a way to get out of these bubbles that we in and defend against the moves of this government.
Real talk. Again, if you'd like to give your truth, 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017 on our YouTube and Facebook Live page and X page at 1017 The Truth. Said millions of Americans are facing food stamp cuts as grocery costs continue to rise. And a lot of you who are being invited to dinner, whether you know it or not, whether the person is legally getting EBT or they've consumed the EBT that someone was illegally selling to make these meals. Again, you gonna learn today. I'm just telling you. Listen, this is the butt naked truth. You feel what I'm saying?
$134 million he spent sending the National Guard to Los Angeles to harass U.S. citizens. $134 million. But now we got a shutdown, and ain't nobody getting no money.
Real talk.
But he's still on the day of the shutdown. Let's bring it all back. He's still on the day of the shutdown talking about he needs to send National Guard places. The government is shut down, player. Right. And you're not worried about that, huh?
Right.
Because he kind of wants that. Like I said, he want to be that landlord that moves all the tenants out and uses they shut it down, so now you don't have a job anyway, so I don't have to pay you. And who are those people that are going to get fired? They're going to be black people.
That's right.
Because already they done got rid of all of the black women in the federal government. They walking on pins and needles. Now it's coming for you, black man. You working for ICE, and you think you helping and you getting money working for ICE. Now when they have to start cutting people, who they going to cut first? They not going to cut them up. They going to cut you.
Hello.
So you better wake up. So everybody living in a bubble, your bubble is about to bust.
Yeah.
Unless you wake up and realize that bubble is not going to protect you from everything that's going on outside.
Hashtag MKE said on our YouTube page, said, funny thing, remember last quarter they fired the Department of Labor and Statistics head because she wouldn't fudge the numbers, and they just released a negative jobs report revision from last month. The numbers don't lie. It's going down.
It's going down. The numbers do not lie, and he's right. They did fire people. That's what I'm saying. They're making us dumber. Mm-hmm. And in making the government dumber, like I've been saying this all week, the government sets the precedent. The federal government sets the precedent for the level of expectation that people have when they're dealing with municipalities of governments of any type, the federal government, right? So if you got a dude up there with 34 felonies, you got a dude up there that's firing all the black women, that's firing everybody,
that's right,
letting the government be shut down just because he's petty,
right,
and don't want to have Obamacare be re-upped. And so what do you think is going to trickle down to all of these other people that want to act that way but haven't been able to act that way because they know the government was going to get on them? Now they're going to start firing black women, and we've seen that. They're going to start doing the same things he's doing, and so it's going to affect you in that way as well. So you may think you got a nice, cushy job, but that federal government ain't there to protect you no more. How cushy that job going to be?
Right. And people relied on that. You get what I'm saying? Because they wasn't trying to help in any other way.
Yeah, the federal government has protected black people ever since the Reconstruction era, even though they sold us out with the Rutherford B. Hayes, all that stuff. They sold us. But anyway, essentially it's been protecting us, right? Now you have Trump in office, and he's given up on the gentleman's agreement. He doesn't care what happens to us anymore.
That's right.
What do you think these other people that are below him going down that totem pole, so to speak, you think they're going to protect you now?
Man, the same ones that feel like they don't have to hide how they felt for all of their lives are out in the open.
Say it again, Homer.
Those that used to have to try to hide,
there you go,
don't have to hide anymore. They can just be right there out in the public and be like, yes. And guess what? The federal government is not going to tell them that they're wrong. You are not going to be able to sue for discrimination. What?
You can no longer to sue for discrimination. It's got to go to X, Y, and Z, and then the federal the DOJ has to approve.
Right.
That you can sue for discrimination. So now you're talking about a Trump-led DOJ going to have to approve for me.
Hello.
But we say all of that. But we say all of this to say to y'all, get out your bubbles because you think it's not going to affect you. It is.
And that is what we're trying to say. That's what we're trying to let you know. And again, some people will still sit like, well, it ain't going to affect me. It is. It is. It has. And sometimes you don't even understand. Right. You don't even understand. So when you end up saying, well, but they can't do this, they've already done it. You're letting them do it before you even start realizing and trying to say, but they can't do this, though. It's like, yeah, that's what we were telling you about 3 months ago when this was happening, that this is going to be the cause and effect of it all.
Listen, I've been one of those people, and I said this the other day. When they were talking about Project 2025, and I went and read it, perused it. I ain't read all of it. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
When I went and perused
because it's a lot.
I saw things, and I was like, oh, they can't do that. They can't do that. They can't do that. That's not what I was the person saying that. I'm a highly educated person, well-read, and even I was saying, no, they can't do that. But in reality, they can do that, and they are doing that. So joke's on me. It's jokes on you. I'm telling y'all from experience, the joke was on me, and now I see the joke. You better see these
authoritarian, man.
They laughing, but you ain't gonna be laughing.
Listen, I'm telling you, I said that he gonna make it where he can end up staying and getting another term. People didn't want to hear it.
Nope.
We got to get ready to take care of some bills, but people wanted to think that that's impossible because he got to do this and he got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Haven't you not seen all of the other stuff that he wasn't able to do or wasn't supposed to be able to do? And he doing it all. Will be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Teachers are the heart of our classrooms, but what does it take to keep the great ones in the classroom and to inspire the next generation? Join me, Kyle Wallace, and City 4 Collective's Coleston Morgan Jr. for the next episode of Forward Together for Kids. We'll talk about the joys and challenges of teaching and how education policy at the state level impacts what happens in our local classrooms. Tune in Saturday, October 4th at 11:30 a.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth with a replay on Sunday, October 5th at 2:30 p.m.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Family needing a getaway? Chula Vista Resort in Wisconsin Dells has everything you want right on the Wisconsin River. Splash into new surrealistic water park fun with Rainbow Rapids. Try new dual zipline racing at Chula's Aerial Adventure Park. New thrills like the towering 200-foot bungee ejection ride, plus $20 million in lodging renovations, 18 holes of challenging golf, all on site. Check it all out at chulavistaresort.com.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Roskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser. I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum, I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you're used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
Junior Achievement is proud to team up with the Admirals to help young people build the skills they need to win in school, in work, and in life. Thank you to the Milwaukee Admirals for supporting JA programming and for giving our students a power play toward a brighter future. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
One call, that's all. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We're black. Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth inside the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown at the Avenue. Andrew, you pulled up those statistics. We were talking about ICE agents. And how many ICE agents are there?
All right, I want to play this game with Dame. So there's 15,000 ICE agents, Dame. What percentage of them are African-American or black?
6%.
Higher than 6%.
Are you serious? 12%.
15%. So you're looking at about 2,200 African-American or black ICE agents.
Wow.
Or you'd call them black ICE.
Black ICE. Ha-ha. See what you did there.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how, as black people in America and the things that we've been through and the civil rights infringements that we've been subjected to, how you could work for ICE. I just don't, and I know ICE is paying well. and it looks attractive. They're giving you $50,000 signing bonuses and all of this other stuff. They getting with overtime and stuff. They making $100-some thousand, but still, you're doing something that are infringing.
People have sold their souls for much less.
Absolutely,
and dignity.
Absolutely,
and their dignity.
There was a guy that used to be Charles Tillman, used to be a cornerback for the Bears, I think he was, and he started working for the Feds, and he was working for ICE. He quit because he didn't like the direction that he's worth $50-something million, so he has the luxury. He was doing it to be doing something,
right.
But he has the luxury to say he's walking away. So it's difficult to tell people, hey, walk away. But if you are walking into it, now if you were already there and that's been your livelihood, and say you close to retirement or whatever the case may be, I feel you. I understand. I have sympathy for you. You just can't quit. You know what I'm saying? But if you are walking into it like, ooh, they paying over there.
Right.
I'm going to go get that money. That's how you sound to me when you talk like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You sound like you about to say massa or something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not judging anyone for doing that. You got to feed your family, but there's different ways. All money ain't good money.
Yeah, just like those who get paid to do lit drops and all of that, and they pay, and
But you don't even know who you lit dropping for.
Right,
you lit dropping for Trump, and you just like, well, they right here on MLK, they paying. I'm gonna go do this. And again, that goes back to the theme of the show: living in your bubble. Somebody that goes and works for a black person that goes and works for ICE is living in their bubble. I don't care about how it affects nobody else. I don't care about how it does to anyone else. And Andrew, thank you for throwing up the Charles Tillman post. But I don't care about how it affects anyone else. I'm gonna get my money, and I don't care. And that's a bad mentality to have. But that comes from, once again, living in a bubble.
Right. And we've invited black Republicans to call in, and no one has picked up the challenge.
We did today. Because I kind of got jumped on my man yesterday. And
so maybe that's why they didn't call.
They'll probably call tomorrow when I'm not on. But because he shouldn't have said that. When I get off air, I say people drinking the cool. Oh, when they get off air. Oh, let me say what I got to say right now. Then you know, and we kind of went back and forth.
Okay.
But anyway, shout out to him. What was his name? Brandon, right? That was Brandon, right? Brandon's a loyal listener. Shout out to him. We just disagreed on that thing. And that's what I'm saying. Even in the situation.
Because we can agree to disagree.
Me and Homer disagree sometimes.
Absolutely.
I tell people that all the time. And that's the greatness of us being on air. Is sometimes we don't agree. And you get those counterpoint of views. But at the end of the day, we're leaving it on the court. Trump ain't leaving it on the court.
Right.
Trump is trying to take people. He leaving the court, pulling out like above the rim. Like, go handle your business. He's taking people out. And that's what it is with all of the, with Comey, with all of the, anybody that's went against him, he's going after him.
Right.
And if you in your bubble, you don't see all of that.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
And the other caller said something about the Epstein files. You absolutely right. If you in your bubble, you don't see the whole picture. You don't see that. Even all of this stuff that we're talking about, we're not talking about them Epstein files, though.
Right.
We talking about the shutdown. We talking about this. We talking about, but them Epstein files are on the back burner like they want them to be.
And you know, again, so many people try to talk about how multifaceted they are. This is when you keep them all at the forefront. You feel what I'm saying? You keep them all, because I'm not going to fall for the banana and tailpipe. It's just that simple. And we got people in every area. That's why I say, in order to really get ahead, in my opinion, the people who are passionate, we got enough people who are passionate about the missing children that can keep that at the top of the list. We got enough people that are passionate about government and how it's working and this, that, and the other. And this is how we end up taking all of these things as a collaborative, and we work on these areas, because then we have to have the boots on the ground that are working with the right now. Because some of those areas that you may be a part of are some of the things, unfortunately, that are going to take some years to get the things, the laws or legislation passed and bills passed to fix those things. Those are not going to be easily handled right now, while we got people in our communities that are suffering, and they could give a damn about what you're talking about. Well, in 5 years, though, in 6 years, though, no. Right now, we hungry. Right now, we're out here dying. Right now, this is going on. Right now. And so we have to understand and utilize our power as a collective, if we come together and be like, okay, blam, you, oh, okay, it's 300 of y'all that's passionate about making sure that we get the right thing, and how to come up with some bills or some piece of legislation and have our elected officials that we know that we have a right to pressure and be on and say, this is what we need, because people that don't look like us, they do it all the damn time. And now you driving down Becky's Highway. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it can be done, and it doesn't have to be everybody at the same damn time, because we have so many different issues that are plaguing us that are not plaguing a lot of other people.
And that's the adverse effects of living in a bubble.
Yeah,
what we're talking about, and what's been the theme of today, which just evolved as the theme of today's show, as we began to talk about all of the issues and the ways that it affects us, and we realized as we're sitting here talking about it that a lot of us live in these bubbles, and living in these bubbles, you're sectioned off, like you just described right there. And as a whole, we can attack this.
Yeah.
But if we're in a bubble and we're thinking our issue is the only issue, this issue is the only issue, this is the only issue, but we today went through so many different issues. We talked about funding. We talked about National Guard. We talked about Epstein files at the end. There's so many different, but we have to step back. And if you're in a bubble and you're just focused on one thing, you're not seeing everything. So then the old distraction of this and that can work. The old watch the right hand, I'm smacking with the left. That can work. But if you step back and everybody's watching it and everybody's telling everybody, communicating with everyone else, hey, this is going on over here. Oh, is it? And this is going on. Well, let's connect these dots, right? You see the bigger picture. So get out the bubble, connect the dots with your community, and see the bigger picture.
And if more people participated in their family reunions, they would understand where we're going. Because when you are on the committee, everybody has assignments.
Yep.
And nobody has to work too damn hard trying to do everything.
Right.
Y'all the entertainment committee. Y'all the one that's gonna get the hotel. Y'all the ones that's gonna work on this. Y'all the one, and then it all comes together. And guess what? We get to find out who the hell our family is.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? Who's doing the T-shirts? What's this? What's that? If you throw that all on one person at one time, then that's where things get lost. That's where things get lost. Even with weddings, for some people, the wedding and the bridezillas and all of that kind of stuff. When you throwing too much stuff on you, that's where the anger, the frustration, and all of that happens. We don't have to do that. We got enough people that are intelligent enough. We got to get our young people to understand that y'all got to help us too, getting rid of this crime in our inner cities, so we won't have to be talking about the National Guard. But if y'all don't help us to get that under control, if you want to talk about, well, y'all older, y'all don't know, y'all, okay, well, hell, you know, so what are you going to help us do about it? Okay, now you want the council? Maybe some older people may not want to listen to you, but you got a lot of them that do want to hear what you got to say. So let's have those conversations. Let's show you how to effectively communicate, because you going out here just saying this and just saying that ain't going to do a damn thing, and it ain't going to change nothing. And we're going to still have 18, 17, 16, 15, 14-year-old people getting shot or murdered.
Bubbles. Stay out the bubbles and stay in the community. That's right. How you win. Stay out the bubbles and get in the community. That's what it boils down to. That's what today's show boils down to. Stay out the bubbles and get in the community, and that's how we gonna win.
Right. And stop making the new family reunions funerals. That's the new family reunion of 2025 and beyond so far. The only time you see these people and they promise you, I'm gonna keep in contact with you, I'm gonna do better. We don't know each other. That's the damn shame. I'm your cousin on Aunt Jamie's side all of that.
Let me say this before we get off here. I want to apologize to everybody on Facebook and YouTube who had to look at my ashy lips all for the last 2 hours, because I didn't know they was this ashy, and then I looked up and like, who's this brother with the, oh, that's me with the white lips. So I apologize to y'all.
Damn. If nobody has told you that they love you today, I want to let you know that I love you. I want you to please have a safe and non-violent remainder of the morning, afternoon, evening, and hopefully the things we have to talk about in the near future won't have to be within our minute degrees of separation. Dame, thank you for a great show. Andrew, our producer, thank you for a great show. Love you, babes. Talk to our agent. We up out of here. Peace.
Check it out one time.